So we have got our first inform for Van Dijk, and stupid me decided, you know what, let's sell him before actually doing this front bit. Completely forgot to do it. I bought him for 1,000,000 coins and we're trying to get him gone. Pretty sharpish, to be honest, but I did forget to actually put him into the squad kind of starting bit so you'd be able to see the chemistry. But as you can see, bought for 1,000,000 coins there. 2 owners, obviously tradable. We got him pretty easily, to be honest. He was about 850 kind of max price. He then had a price range increase just as I went to buy him at about 8 o'clock, and it went up to 1.3 mil. We're trying to get rid of him at 1.3. Whether he actually goes is the next question, because obviously he is kind of just not on the market at the moment again, and I think mine is the only one on there. So if we did have a quick look, I don't think he's actually selling as of yet, but obviously we can hope that he goes. I don't think he will do for 1.3, but if we do get anywhere near that, then that's absolutely fantastic. But what a card. Genuinely a fantastic upgrade. Obviously, acceleration-wise is not the greatest, but I still think 80 pace, when you see that big number, it always gives you nice kind of nice vibes for it. Obviously, unfortunately for his sprint speed, we still need to give him the shadow at the very minimum. So that would give him 90 pace with 78 acceleration and 99 sprint speed. You do miss out on a +1 from the sprint speed just because it is already 90, but you do get 98 defending, and by God, you can tell he is a fantastic centre-back. Somebody who can tackle, somebody who can just run, get the ball, intercept, everything and above is it's just Van Dijk. Like, naturally, since he kind of joined Liverpool and had that incredible season, this card has always been incredible still. So hopefully we do see more of him. I know last year, I think because of his injury, we literally got his team of the year as well as a team of the season and a FUT birthday with we didn't. That was FIFA 20. So we got a record breaker and a team of the year, and that's all we got from Virgil all year round. So hopefully now he's back, we might be finding more of him in specials and in promos, which would be just fantastic, because obviously he is a big boy defender. I think for the Prem, the only thing we need now is another centre-back like Varane to do really well in terms of specials, especially because then we can have a very, very good partnership of specials. If we was looking at his stats, obviously the acceleration is something that definitely needs increasing as we go forward. Would love more agility balance. Bar from that, everything else is solid. It's just top-up stats. You'd always love more passing. You'd always love more stamina. And that's just naturally a progression thing rather than anything. Other than that, he is incredible. So let's show you the gameplay we got, and hopefully you did enjoy so far. Virgil's looking to step up. Benzema, who's going to cause more than enough problems. And he's not going to cause a problem to Virgil there. Solid defending, just pokes a foot out at it. Virgil standing up with Player of the Month Salah. What can we find? Oh, he's never going to do it. I don't know what it is with Virgil, but he's always just been incredible at tackling, getting in the way, putting his body there for it. Looking for a ball into our Salah now, but honestly, he has always been fantastic since kind of like his massive come up with the kind of Liverpool glory year, where obviously they won the Prem. He was just phenomenal, and ever since then, I don't know if they've changed his body type or we've kind of just more noticed him now. He is absolutely phenomenal in this game. Virgil coming across. Salah's going to pick it onto his left, as we knew. Took our time to kind of get across, but I don't feel like if that was onside, he'd have any chance. Virgil is pretty much one of the best gold cards in terms of blocks, so I can imagine this in form is just the same with it as well. Good block again. Salah's going to find himself his way through. Marquinhos is going to deal with the rest. Cracking challenge from Virgil. Good block from Virgil the first time, and takes the second one. I think the only thing that I've got against Virgil in this version is how much it's costing at the moment. Obviously, we paid 1,000,000 coins for him. Obviously, we were kind of expecting that to drop down a hell of a lot throughout the week. But in terms of kind of, if we're looking like he's going to be 500,000, I just don't see the value when his gold card, especially only being, what, 1 rating higher at the minute, is clearly not worth it. I think you can get his gold card for about 70-80k. That for me is way more cost efficient than going for the kind of inform dynamic. That being said, he is a fantastic centre back regardless, so hopefully we do get him red, even though it will kind of mess up the team a little bit in how we set up. I still would 100% love him in the team. Virgil's not falling for that one. As you can see, he's coming down to 1.2, just under across the board really, so we kind of need to sell ours as quick as possible. In terms of market sales, I think, to be honest, I think that one's probably my buy, and that one's my not sold. So we dropped it down to 1.2, but there is a few more on the market, so I can imagine that's going to go within the hour, and then obviously we're going to have to drop it down a little bit more. Hopefully we just kind of maintain tax on it. I'd be quite happy to sell him for 1.5 or 1.05 and keep the tax for him, but honestly, a fantastic centre-back nonetheless. Very decent on everything. Pace-wise with the shadows, fantastic. Defending is always better than ever. Obviously his physicality has always been good, being 6'4", built like a brick in terms of his stature, and he's just a fantastic centre-back in general. His animations are almost perfect, and I'd say in terms of gold card, he's always been one of the best. May not be the most meta in certain games, but most definitely I think you could rank him in at least the top 4, top 3, and that's just naturally how Virgil has done in general for kind of the past few years. As you can see, from the kind of time he joined Liverpool to then this season, it's just went uphill for him, except for last season obviously, but I think even the argument that he would still be fantastic if he didn't get that injury, and unfortunately it just so happened to be a whole year injury, unfortunately, but he still managed to get a team of the year, which again was still one of the best centre-backs on the game, without even playing, still managing to get his name into FIFA. But this year is different. He's back with a vengeance, and he seems to be doing pretty well. I think Virgil is just naturally a born centre-back. He just is that good, and in terms of FIFA, he is phenomenal. It does kind of throw me that his agility balance is so low, and yes, you can notice it at times, but I think what that lacks is more than boosted by his defending, his physical, a good amount of sprint speed. He just naturally is very good at getting that computer AI, and I know it sounds silly, but there is players that just seem to be able to block more than others, and Virgil's one of them. I think Kimpembe is really good at it, but Virgil is just the next level. The people like Marquinhos is more technical, you moving yourself, and Varane as well, more kind of pacey centre-back with the defensive ability, whereas Virgil's just absolutely massive, and he just manages to get a foot in. He seems to be in the right position at the right time, very, very rarely loses a head. That's just natural in the box, and I'd expect that from somebody who's 6'4" with 93 head and accuracy and 92 jumping. That is just naturally what I'd expect. In terms of kind of what I'm disappointed about this card, obviously there is some things. I'd like a bit more sprint speed if possible, agility balance to go up, maybe a bit more short pass, but in terms of kind of the real thing for me is the price. Obviously I'm being very, very critical here because he's only just came out. He's not necessarily going to be 400k right now, but I'm thinking if you've got a one upgrade from 84,500 coins, and I'm thinking realistically where his price is going to drop to, I'm thinking, is he going to drop down to 200k? Probably not. Like, he may do, and he most definitely might do, but I personally don't see it straight away, and I don't see it for at least a couple of weeks, which in then he could get another inform, he could get another promo that would then naturally drop it down. In terms of kind of actually dropping on its own with no other cards in the making, I think he's going to be sitting at about 500. And again, I'm not necessarily saying that's a definite, but that's something that I can kind of see. I don't see him going under that unless he's really packed. He's a top team of the week this week in terms of rating and obviously price. If we have a look, there is going to be very room for error with him. So I personally think he's going to stay very, very expensive for quite some time. And I just don't think it's necessarily worth the +1 and +2. That for me is just definitely not going to happen. I feel like you're paying for more dynamic special than you are obviously what the card actually can do. And I think most definitely the gold card will do pretty much just as good as a job. Like I say with a lot of things, +1 is very, very hard to notice. Yes, it's kind of like you lunge a centimeter quicker than your other card. You may turn at 0.1 of a second quicker than your other card, and yes, in the long run that helps, but in terms of what you can actually see physically on the pitch, I don't think you're going to notice it massively. You're always adjusting with the gold cards, so obviously when you've got the special, you are still naturally making them adjustments and slowly then reversing what he can do, and you know that he can go that little bit quicker, but I think you'll notice more if he was a 92, 93 naturally. Overall, he is still a 10 out of 10 centre back. I think that is something we can never argue with. He is still fantastic at the game, and hopefully we do see him in more specials very soon, because I think Obviously, there is an argument that he won't be in Team of the Year this year after not playing pretty much most of last season. I think that isn't down to him being awful. It is, unfortunately, down to his injury. So, unfortunately, we're not going to get him there. But more than likely, we will see him in Team of the Season after Team of the Year in about, April, May time. So, hopefully you did enjoy the video. Let me know down below if you are looking for that Virgil. How much are you willing to pay for Virgil? That's what I want to know down below. Make sure you do like and subscribe on this video. And I'll see you all for the next one. Peace.